Hey there, everybody. Josh here again, and we're doing a live stream. Kind of excited about this. Trying to, share the word about what we're doing here tonight. I gotta say, though, right off the bat, I'm a little sorry to say that Sally Howell, who was married to a man with muscular dystrophy, uh, she unfortunately is not available to join me this evening. So we're going to reschedule. We're going to find the time to do it. She's a student, I believe, and I think she had a particularly stressful and busy day. And she just wasn't feeling up for it. Something about lots of meetings that went way, way, way too long. Um, and Yeah, so unfortunately she can't join us today, but I've had some conversations with Sally before, just via Facebook Messenger, and I got a couple of quotes from her that I'm going to share with. Um, what the main topic of tonight? Well, obviously it's DMD with regards to relationship, sex, and marriage, but we were going to talk about particularly her experiences and with her with her marriage to a guy with DMD. Um, but something interesting happened today on Facebook. I saw quite a few moms of guys with MD talking about how their sons are interested in girlfriends, friendship, dating, stuff like that. So I felt like I had an opportunity here to answer some questions or to um, share my experiences or give you guys a bit of insight. All right. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to talk about how it might seem impossible, how it might seem improbable, but it is possible. If you're a guy with DMD, um, or whatever, and a relationship is something that you're interested in, it's possible. Nothing in life is guaranteed. Um, yeah, and I'm mostly going to be speaking from the perspective as a young man with muscular dystrophy interested in women, but I don't want to leave anybody out. If you are a young man with muscular dystrophy and you are attracted to other men, um, that's great too. That's cool. Um, it's just not something I can speak on too much. Some of the intersexual dynamics between men and women are different between men and men, and by some I mean most. Let's be serious. So if if you are a young man with muscular dystrophy who is gay and you have not been able to tell somebody or talk to somebody, I urge you to do that. You can always hit me up for some coaching. I haven't done a lot of LGBT coaching, but I'd be willing to listen and hear you out. And honestly, I mean, there are challenges to being gay for sure. But I believe, just from my what I've seen in my own anecdotal stuff, um, I know a lot of disabled guys, let's just say, who are gay, and almost all of them have boyfriends. So that's all I'm going to say on that now. It's possible for sure. Um, but let's talk about young men wanting a special woman in their life. So I mentioned earlier that Sally Howell was going to join us, but unfortunately she can't tonight. I just want to share a conversation that I had with her, and I see a few people are watching. Try and leave comments in the chat itself. I actually am getting them in the chat, so do that, and I can try and do my best to answer questions. All right, cool. So Sally Howell. Um, she married a young guy with muscular dystrophy. I believe they were married together for 3 years. And unfortunately, when he was 31, he passed away, due to complications with muscular dystrophy. Um, so I asked Sally, what was the hardest part and what was the best part of being married to a guy with Duchenne muscular dystrophy? And she said, yeah, there was definitely hard parts, but she said it was totally worth it and she would do it all over again, which is amazing to hear because, I mean, she lost her husband. So you can only imagine the sadness that she experienced with that. And to say that she would do it again, yeah, that's wonderful. Because we all know the saying, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. And that's, I believe that's true. And I believe it's especially true for people like us with muscular dystrophy because it gives us, nothing in our lives is guaranteed, right? Our health isn't guaranteed, our longevity isn't guaranteed, and relationship is not guaranteed. Possible, wonderful when it happens, but not guaranteed. And it's not guaranteed in anyone's life, really. There are some dudes and women out there who are lonely. I mean, that's the biggest problem in our society today is loneliness. But it doesn't affect just people with muscular dystrophy. It affects everyone. But yeah. So I asked her what the hardest part was. And she said, no sleep, LOL. And I'm like, all right, I got to dig into this. And she told me that she did about 85% of his personal care, and that he had a ventilator, a tracheostomy, just like you see I got. He had a G tube for feeding. I have a G tube. I don't really use it too much. It's just it would put in an emergency situation, and it's there now if I need it. But so high level needs for sure. Like we're not unaware that this can happen with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And she was doing 85% of the care. So she said, no sleep was the hardest part. And I said, okay, that's cool. And I asked her, she said she's 85% of his care, but there were certain things she wouldn't do, like the shower. She wouldn't do the shower. I'm not sure why. We didn't get into that. Or ordering the medical supplies. And again, that's probably something he could have done, right? Was ordering the medical supplies. So as a wife, you're not going to try and take away any independence from your husband. At least that's just my 2 cents, right? So I asked her what was the best part or what was better than expected. And she just said loving him and getting to know him as a person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it got me choked up. It was just a sweet thing to hear, right? That despite the challenges of the relationship, the disability, the amount of care that she was providing for him, that loving him was the best part. So, that warmed my heart for sure. So I don't see any questions yet. Hopefully you guys ask some questions. I'm going to take a look. Just in the comments. 1 second here. Please don't mind me. I'm just going to take a look-see in the comments and see how things are going. Excellent. And, somebody is waving. I always appreciate the wave. You can ask a question if you want. And there's no questions in the comments right now, which is fine. So I'm going to talk a bit about my own experiences, all right? So I am 37, even though I look pretty young for my age. A lot of us guys with DMD do, I think. So the most, I probably started, Shoot. um, I had some girlfriends when I was younger. I think I had a girlfriend when I was 15, 16 for a little while. Again, when I was 17 for a little while, a couple weeks, nothing too long. When I was 21 for a couple weeks, nothing too major. Um, and then between the ages of like 21 and 33, didn't really have a lot of girlfriends. Went on a couple dates here and there, but not a lot. I was focused on lots of other things. It wasn't really a priority for me at that time. But when I was 33, I met somebody, and it was quite the interesting story because that's about the same time I got my trach and my vent. So at about the same time that I got my trach and my vent, me and this lady who was my age were starting a relationship, and it was good for a good part of it. So we were together about 3 years, and I would say the first 2 years were really, really good. And then the last year, we kind of just drew apart a little bit. They became busy with some other stuff. Um, I was a bit busy. I wanted more out of the relationship, but at the same time, I kind of just took it for granted that we would kind of like find our way back to each other, and I wasn't really that passionate about it. So her and I were together for about 3 years, and then we broke up. And yeah, it hurt. If you watch my other video, like there was times in that relationship where, like, I believe that her and I could be together for the rest of our lives. Well, obviously that didn't happen, and she and I broke up. This was about 2 years ago now, and yeah, it was rough, but you'll have to excuse me. I got a bit of phlegm in my throat. I'm just gonna try and clear it. If I can't clear it, I may have to get a suction, but we'll see. All right. I think I'm good. I just might be a bit phlegmy, so I apologize. So yeah, we broke up 2 years ago, and like I'm not in contact with any of my exes. Um, I don't hate any of them for sure. But it's just like people are in our lives for a reason and for a season. Like, this last person they were a girlfriend, right? Um, that was the reason. They're not a friend, they were a girlfriend. And for a season, right? It was for 3 years. It's not for the rest of my life. That's fine. That's how things are. So, and excuse me. All right, guys, and Vance and Trace will know what that's all about. I apologize. So, and it was kind of happened. It kind of happened when I was not expecting. I was not looking for it. It just, like I said, I was getting my trach and vent at the same time, and you know, uh, it just happened. It just happened, and she and I were together for 3 years. So, uh, guys with DMD, I want you to realize it definitely is possible. It definitely is something that can be a good thing in your life. And maybe you'll break up and you'll have heartache. That is normal. That is life. Dudes with DMD are not immune to the stuff of life, right? So, comment from Mary. Thank you for sharing your life. Oh, of course. If you have any questions, please shoot a question. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to go. I would just say the number one thing a guy with muscular dystrophy has to do is get himself out there, get himself out in front of people, meeting new people. Because you can't find somebody if you're not putting yourself out there. If you want to use a dating apps, try using one of the lesser known ones that are not known for hookups. Let's be honest, 100% honest. Now, women that are kind of going through this is not to disparage women in any ways, because there's guys on these apps too. Like these hookup apps are not what's going to be successful for guys with muscular dystrophy. It's 100% based off of appearances and like imagination on what can happen in the bedroom and stuff like that, and that is not what is going to lead you to something lasting and meaningful, because I'm sure that's what you guys want. You don't want just hookups or whatever, because I mean, we all know there's sex workers. If that's really just what you want, that's what you can have. But yeah, so so you have to get yourself out there and make yourself known, but you also have to, and here's the other thing, and I just said something almost to the opposite, but you have to make yourself known to be a guy who's open to dating and relationship. Like, many women will just look at you and be, oh, he's a nice guy. He's not interested in dating. Women don't know. Quite frankly, men don't know too, but most of you guys are looking for women. You have to let it be known that you are interested in dating, in relationship, in sex eventually, right? And yeah, so that's what you got to do. You got to put yourself out there. And like, I could go into house and all that, but that would be, I could talk for an hour on that. But if you want coaching as to how you can talk to women and engage their interests and stuff like that, you can always book a coaching call with me. But I would just say you got to put yourself out there and let girls know that you're interested. Girls like to be asked out. You got to be the guy who asks out girls, right? So put it in their mind. And with regards to sex, sex is possible for most dudes with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, I believe. The penis is not a muscle; it's just a tissue that fills up with blood. So you're good to go there. Yeah, so sex is possible, but you might have to get creative, right? If you can't. It depends on your ability, your flexibility, how much weight you can bear, like if the girl can be, so yeah, so it's possible. And again, if you need any specific help with that too, like maybe let's say 19, you're 19, you got a girlfriend, and you guys want to explore each other's bodies, have sex, do that stuff, contact me. I can give you some pointers and stuff like that. I'm no sex guru, but I can help you guys out. So I just want to recap by saying relationship, sex, marriage is definitely all possible for a guy with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. What you got to do is, if you like a girl, is put it in their mind that you're an option. All right. And I should just tell a quick story. This one girl I asked out when I was about 21, and I didn't really want to ask her out this way, but we were chatting over MSN chat. That was a thing back in the day. It was like a chat app, but on your computer. And her and I were chatting, flirting, and stuff like that. And then she told me she got asked out by this doofus. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to go out with him, but I'm not really interested in him. And I'm like, oh, man, I got to do something about this. So I sent a message saying, don't go out with doofus boy. She's like, why? I'm like, you should go out with me instead. And she was just floored. And she's like, I would totally rather go out with you instead. And like, it didn't last very long. We went out a couple times over a couple of weeks. We had a little bit of fun. It was fine. It was good. But we realized there was no future there. We were better off just staying friends for a little bit. And then we kind of moved on our separate ways. So you just got to put yourself out there. You got to know it's possible. Yeah. But if you have any questions, please go to facebook.com/coachingjosh. Hit me up. This is something I really, really want to help people with. Like, I don't want to talk about my coaching page every single minute, but I think this is really where I can help some guys and yeah, I can really help some dudes. And it takes a lot of one-on-one time. It really, really does. I mean, if you're in the mindset that it's impossible, it's going to take a bit. Like, and I get it. Some of you guys, like, the closest person to you in your life is your mother. She helps you out. She does your personal care. There's so many things to consider in a relationship that you don't want to talk to your mother about. I get it. Like in Sally Howell's relationship, she said she did 85% of the care for her husband. In my relationships, my girlfriends have done no care, like very little care. Like if we're going out for dinner, obviously, if sorry, got sidetracked. My girlfriends didn't do my care, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted them to be my girlfriend, not my caregiver. Everybody's different though, and that's something you got to work out. So, oh yeah, I'd say obviously they'd help me if we're out for dinner. They're gonna help me go pee. They're gonna help me eat and stuff like that. They're not gonna just eat their food in front of me. So, Francesco 788. What if not get out? I don't understand the question, Bud. But I'll give you a minute to retype the question if you want, and I'll talk about it. If not, I'm going to end this pretty soon. What if you can't get out? Oh, shite. That's a tough one. That is. Oh, that's a tough one, bud. I'm not sure what. I'd like maybe hit me up. I'd like to talk to you about it because I'm about as like immobile as it gets, and I deal with a lot of pain, and I'm still able to get out. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one, bud. Yeah, you got to find a way to meet somebody online, I guess, and take it from there. But I mean, I think if you're going to be looking for a relationship, you got to be at some point, depending on your age, you got to be moving towards moving out and moving and living independently. I mean, I'm not sure how healthy and normal it would be to stay living at home forever and trying to have your wife there in the same house as your parents and stuff like that. That's a really tough one, for sure. But if you want to talk about it, hit me up on the Facebook and we'll see what we can do. Because yeah, you gotta get yourself out there. And I think sometimes us guys with muscular dystrophy, We put limitations of bed rested. Yeah, my brother spent the last 7 years of his life in bed. Yeah, that's a tough one, dude. I don't. Yeah, I'll have to talk to you. If you're the dude that's been talking to me on Facebook, which I think you have, like, dude, I'd really like to talk to you. Maybe if you can't quite afford my services, we can work on a better deal for you. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's something your parents could help out with or something like that. Because I do want to help people, but I can't even. Yeah. So yeah, it's tough. Mary says, I can't even imagine how my son will ever be on his own. How did you? I just did it. Like I was 17 when I did it. You just do it. It's going to be tough. Of course, it's going to be tough. Like, of course, it's safer to be at home, but who wants to live a safe life? I want to live an exciting life, a great life. I mean, it's dependent on areas too, but I suggest everyone with muscular dystrophy, just gen muscular dystrophy, do their best to move out on their own when they, in their young 20s or whatever they can. Just try and push as hard as you can, as hard as you can. All right, and Mary, if you want, you can hit me up too. What my parents weren't perfect by far, but what they did was they did not coddle me or baby me. Like, I had my chores growing up. I did my chores, and if I didn't do them, I got consequences. Right, I get grounded. If I didn't do my homework, I'd get grounded. You know, yeah, we can talk about it for sure. Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. This was fun. I hope to get Sally on next time, and we could talk about her marriage in particular. And I think it would give people a lot of hope. But there's always solutions, and we can figure them out together. All right. I just want people to know that I'm gonna make a video on it soon, and I'm gonna talk about how hope is better than expectations, because expectations can only they can only limit you or disappoint you, but hope and working towards things completely different. All right, so please reach out to me. I'd love to help. So this has been my 30, it's almost 30 minutes now, so I just want to thank you. I really got to go get my lungs cleared out too, so everyone have a good night, and don't be afraid to ask me a couple questions. I can take a few minutes out of my day to answer some questions, but yeah, I live on my own. Life isn't free. I got a business to run as well. I got a couple other things going on too, but yeah. So God bless. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. And a life with muscular dystrophy is an awesome life. I'll tell you that right now. All right. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.